Hey, this is Nick, aka The Weiler, here for the Deadly Operative Grunts show. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoopsie.
Yahtzee.
Is that what he said was Yahtzee on Mortal Kombat?
That's what I say.
Oh, it was
I don't
whoopsie, wasn't it?
conform to the libertarian...
Mortal Kombat? What the Baraka would never do that. Okay?
Yeah.
He would start healthcare.
Yeah,
oh wait, that's Barack. Barack, we miss you. It's the best slogan. Barack.
Deadly Operative Grunt Show! Oh, yeah.
Alright, on Dogs at Play, we're going to be talking about Uncharted Lost Legacy. Here with me today is...
Kevin, Wicked Ninja 88.
How are you been?
Good, I feel a little lonely right
Aww.
now. I'm missing my friend Lamp.
Mm.
Yeah, anyhow. But no, actually doing really, really good. Enjoying the summer like always.
Yeah.
Doing what we do. How you doing?
What have you been doing? Because you have something that you should talk about.
Well, what I've been doing is I've been looking up Uncharted.
No!
What am I...
You popped a balloon and then there was...
I try to leave my personal life.
Go ahead, tell everybody, come on.
So, okay, well...
For those of you who don't know, how many kids do you have?
I have two boys. Wonderful boys. One is 5, turning 6 November. My other son, Dexton, is going to be 4 next March. So, a couple years apart. Me and my wife found out that we're having another baby February 4th. And over the weekend, we did a gender reveal party, which I personally don't like them. Because it's like, I don't want to wait. The only time
we were supposed to have one, and me and Ashley, we just didn't want to wait. So
no, the time for waiting was the days when they didn't have the technology to tell you what you were having. That's when you would wait. Baby's here, it's a girl. Damn it, I painted the room blue. No, so for me it was a kind of a thing. But my wife wanted it. My sister really wanted to have the party, and I bit the bullet on it and said, okay. I even tried to cheat. I tried to get as much information out of my sister, my mom, anybody I could, and nobody was giving me crap.
Yeah.
We did the gender reveal, and we are having a little girl now.
Yay!
So, Nova Dawn is going to be the name. So it's a new day.
Is it together, or is it Nova Dawn?
Nova Dawn Kun.
Okay.
Yep. The meaning behind it's a new day. So that's one of the things. My wife's had that name picked out since she was a kid.
Right.
Well, a teenager. She was thinking about babies as kids. She had the wrong priorities. But no, she's had the name picked out forever. And when she told me the meaning of it, I couldn't disagree.
It's unique. I mean, not much people are going to have the name Nova.
Dawn, you can hear.
No, you should have done Nova Prime.
Nova Prime.
Only a Prime can kill another Prime.
Damn it! Well, I thought I was slick with Dexton Kelly because his initials are DK. No, but yeah, we're excited. Not to mention, you've got a girl, so now we've got girl power going.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of girl power, segue.
Bah, bah, bah.
We're going to be talking about Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
Yes,
and it's definitely got some girl power in it. What's your synopsis? What do you think about it?
So I absolutely love the idea of having it with a girl cast, giving the women the power in this game. I think that's what Uncharted has needed for years. I mean, when you're looking at Uncharted being a action and adventure and everything like that, you know, it's geared towards the guys. The girl version would be Tomb Raider, which is geared for the guys because it's Tomb Raider.
Right, and I mean, they've done a really good job with Tomb Raider recently.
Yes.
They toned down the breast and they made it so that it wasn't as revealing. And I really like the remake because it's a lot more about survival than there's a busty woman who happens to have guns.
Yeah, she kind of felt out of place in her environment sometimes, especially in the early days. PlayStation 1, remember with the demo disc? It had like 17 demos on the demo disc for PlayStation 1.
Right.
Tomb Raider was one of those demos. I can't tell you how many times I played through that demo. Because as a kid, I didn't have money.
Right. And triangles look like boobies.
And they look like... We're Madonna boobs! Madonna boobs! I forgot about those. How could I? But yeah, I think that the gaming industry has really advanced it. I mean, not only with Tomb Raider or Uncharted, but you look at other adventure games. Horizon, exactly. That's where I was going to. But not only Horizon, even The Last of Us.
Yeah.
That is a very powerful role for a very young girl.
Yeah.
And I feel that she's what sold the story to me, not the male protagonist.
Yeah, I think it would have had a different impact. And actually, the very first time I ever played The Last of Us was actually before I had my daughter. So, it might not have had as much of an impact as if I would play it today, which I would, because, anytime I even talk about it...
How many times have you played... As a side question, how many times have you specifically played The Last of Us?
I would have to say... 3 times, which for me, if you know anything,
a lot.
For me, the biggest compliment I could give a game, like a lot of people, a biggest compliment they could give a game is like platinuming it.
Yeah.
And, or just, keeping it for more than a week. But for me, the biggest compliment I could give a game is playing it again.
Yeah.
Because, I play a game and it is dead to me the moment the credits roll.
This is my argument with gaming in general, is when you spend $60 on a product, you need replayability.
Yeah.
That's important to have. Mm-hmm. And The Last of Us really pulls in that replayability. Yeah. Uncharted... The 1, 2, 3, and 4 have a replayability for me. Mm-hmm. They have, even though I know the story and the adventure, I kind of love that. I love relishing in that. And
right. It's just like Indiana Jones.
Yes.
How many times have you seen that? It has that globe-trotting, especially 2 and 3. 1 kind of stayed in the jungle, but 2 and 3, and obviously 4, you were all around the globe, and it was this sprawling adventure. And I mean... Yes.
Action-packed sequences that were just, beautiful. Not only in sight, but sounds. The environment, you felt a part of it.
Right.
Moving into the new Uncharted Lost Legacy, we're going to be getting, in my opinion, the best of every world. We're getting that girl power. Yeah. We're getting that action-packed story. I was reading and seeing online that they're going to have a lot of the driving sequences from Uncharted 4. They're going to be transitioning those into Lost Legacy, which, in my opinion... A lot of people were skeptical at the driving sequences. They're, it's going to be lame, you're just going to drive around. They felt so well placed, and it didn't draw away from that action because of the way they had the bikes moving in and the explosions. It was beautifully choreographed. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to see that carry on into this, I don't want to say an era or generation, but into this next step of Uncharted.
Right.
If you're going to have female protagonists, don't dumb down the awesomeness because it's girls. Make it just as challenging and make them prevail. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to really help out the story.
Yeah. I mean, on the subject of the driving, even the part where you have the big Madagascar area, you could just drive wherever you want. They could have, since we're so used to Uncharted being linear, I was a little weary going into that part because it's like, the reason why some of their action pieces and everything was because it was very highly scrutinized and they spent years. They took their time, industry. They took their time and they made everything, and it's because it's this line. So going into this big open area, I was worried that it wasn't going to feel as good. But it did not disappoint. And so now that I know that there's going to be a good chapter where once again we actually get to this kind of open world, I hope that means that maybe not Uncharted, but maybe Naughty Dog can create another game, open world.
Absolutely. And I think Naughty Dog has the ability to make an open sandbox world.
Oh yeah.
I think that they do. My one concern is that they're so used to building stories off that linear system that they're going to have trouble finding paths to open up into this world. I would hope not. Naughty Dog's been around for years. Right. They do a great job at making us, the consumers, feeling captivated. You know, when it comes to open world games, the last one that really captivated me as an open world was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep.
That game was absolutely beautiful. The story was wonderfully tailored. They have a DLC dropping. I want to get the DLC because the game was just, maybe it already dropped actually.
End of the month maybe? I don't know.
So I think it's close.
Yeah, it's very close.
But to me, it's like I almost want to go back out and get Horizon Zero Dawn just to do this DLC. And you and I know, like, DLCs, it's either a make or break of a game. Mm-hmm. You know, because you can't just add a DLC to something and say, oh, it's completed. You have to do it the right way. I mean, if the game was already complete and then you give me a DLC that's the exact same thing as I've been playing, I'm going to be disappointed. Mm-hmm. If you give me a DLC that's subpar to the game, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Yeah. If you give me a DLC that actually advances the mechanics of the game and gives me something to grab a hold of and hold on for the ride, that's where you're going to keep me at. Yeah.
And I mean, if I can go off for a little bit here, for those who don't know, Uncharted Lost Legacy actually started off as DLC.
It did,
you got it with the season pass of Uncharted 4. A lot of people wanted to complain because it's going to be a $39.99 game. But this started off as a season pass. People who bought the season pass, they're still honored. You know, people who didn't, those are the people who are actually getting a little screwed over because we're going to have to pay full price. But one thing I definitely want to bring up is, so far, Naughty Dog and now Guerrilla, I think they did DLC correctly. Mm-hmm. The problem with EA, Activision, even the upcoming Mordor, they're talking about stuff way too far ahead of time. And for most consumers, that really feels like they have it done or 90% done, and they're just holding it off so that they can get some more money. Whereas Horizon Zero Dawn, they made the announcement of the DLC a part of like E3. Yeah. So it made it feel big. Yeah. The Last of Us did the same thing with Left Behind. They waited like a whole year after it came out.
You played the Left Behind, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, God, yeah.
Really great story.
But same thing. They waited. They made a big deal about the fact that, hey, and actually that was a smaller chunk. That was more like 2 hours, an hour and a half, depending on how fast you wanted to get it done. But
how much you wanted to explore as well.
That too. But that's the right way to treat a company. Treat your customers. Treat us like you give a crap. Because when you come out with Battlefront, and Battlefront's gonna have 4 DLCs, and you're gonna be able to do all this stuff, and it's but it's free, but microtransactions. As soon as you start doing that, I'm just a number to you. I'm just money.
You feel devalued?
Yes, extremely.
Okay, there's a certain extent that I can agree with that on. Of feeling like a number. Am I just another tick in your box saying, "Oh, he logged on today"?
Right, because you spend money on the game. So now why is somebody spending money on double XP or something? Why are they more important than me who plays the game for 4 hours a day? Maybe that person who spends the extra money, they only play for 1 hour because that's all they have to play.
and I think if you have dedicated time to a game, and this is where you and I have talked about microtransactions and dedication towards a game, you're a staunch, like, you just don't agree with microtransactions. I can agree to them to an extent of the fact that if you're going to pay extra and dedicate your time and money towards a game, then yes, you should be rewarded, but it should be balanced out. Mm-hmm. It's got to be balanced out, or you're just going to screw over the real gamers, in my opinion. The people who are dedicated physically. Maybe we don't have a big wallet, like you say, but yeah, I agree with that.
Up next is Inside Dog. We're going to be talking about Marvel Defenders. Oh, Nub Nub. Oh, Nub Nub.